એટલે I think what we know about cancer or other NCDs is this is what I have told you. About individual food items, the research is very, very little, and as you can understand, it is very hard to do also because over our lifespan, we are going to eat a lot of different things, not just one item. So studying that is very hard. What I can tell you is the same answer that milk was there for hundreds and thousands of years, whereas the NCD started now. So it cannot be just milk. There are potential concerns that the way the milk is being produced now means the cows being given injections of hormones. So there you can have a problem. This is very common in the Western world, and increasingly here also to improve the production of milk, they give various injections, and in the US cows also being fed non-vegetarian. But here, if you are getting milk from the source where these things are not happening, then it is less likely to be a big issue. And what I say is use everything in moderation. Okay? So if you are having 1 or 2 cups of milk, it is not a big issue. And in the priority, if you are doing all these other points I have mentioned, then anyway milk will not do anything to you. Because health is like a balance, right? So there are factors which are trying to make us unhealthy, and there are factors which are trying to keep us healthy. It is a balance. So somebody who is eating high calorie but doing vigorous exercise, it's a very good example, right? That person, obesity is not going to be an issue. But the person who is not going to exercise so much, he cannot think the same way. So like that, for all these points, as many as you can follow, the factors that you don't have control over will be minimized. Because like air pollution, you don't have control, right? So some stress you don't have control. We don't have control over what we did in our childhood. We cannot go back and correct. But what we can now is all these things.
તો દૂધ ખીચડી તો આજે રોજ ચાલતું જ હતું
Fasting, yes, very important. It's a huge topic, so we're not covered, but fasting is studied in multiple ways that it improves the metabolic parameters, and that would in turn ultimately lead to many advantages. So there are different types of fasting. One is this so-called intermittent fasting, means you eat before 7 o'clock and then next day morning you have some breakfast. So almost 12 hours you are not having anything. The other fasting is the typical every Sunday or Monday or whatever, or you miss one meal in a week, or every 15 days. So these were inbuilt in our religion and culture for health, because that allows the maintenance of the body. So when you are not eating, the body is able to go back and do lots of different things. One of them is autophagy, is what the Japanese professor studied, and he got Nobel Prize for that, telling us that fasting is very healthy.
Nowadays, people are doing different fasting. Is it useful in comparison with our old traditions? I mean, religious and religious.
So
Can it be compared?
I don't think I can answer that from a very scientific point of view, because we don't have data to compare that. But it seems that, there are, based on some traditional understanding and my reading of yoga and following with our yoga experts and all, that the moon cycle also has advantages. So fasting done on an Agyaras may have more benefit than the same thing done, say, 3 days before. So there is potentially small additional advantage to that. Similarly, all these fastings that we have, these Navratris, most of these are at the time of season change. So when the season changes, and if you have done fasting, you have created the body into a healthy state for the next onslaught of viruses and change of weather, and you will be able to handle that in a much better way. So yes, there is a value to that in different